Hello and welcome to episode 3 of GuildRock in season 7. Today I'm planning on working on a proper starter base. The Zarquon Guild theme is fantasy this season, so I'm looking forward to trying a building style I've never done before. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to start with a traditional style build and adapt it into more of a fantasy style in a later episode. Coming up in today's episode, bath time comes around earlier than expected, and I find someone asleep in the iron farm. Now, if a long building focused episode is not what you're after today, then how about when the Zarquon Guild teamed up to die fighting the Ender Dragon? There should be a link in the top corner about now. So if you're still with me, let's jump in and get started. You can see my little starter base just over here, and behind that you can see Hawkon's new starter base that he's built up over here, and he's done some lovely landscaping as well. And if we look over here, you can see the beginnings of Lockley's rather large starter base. So my effort here is starting to look a little lackluster, so I have started putting together my own proper starter base over here. Now, I might have to move this, I'm not sure. And here it is. So let's have a quick look. Now, I've been building this in a similar style to everybody else. We've got some spruce wood and then some walls put in. Now, I think Hawkon has some diorite and birch mixed into his walls, so I've gone for something a little bit different. Now, I know Lockley has been using bone blocks for the portal over here, which I'll show you later. But I decided that that would be quite a good mix if I used the bone blocks with smooth quartz and the mushroom stems. So I've got these placeholder blocks in here, and I'm going to go around and slowly replace all of these blocks with my chosen blocks. So I'm going to do a little bit of work on that now, and we'll see how we go. Okay, I've made a start here already, but I keep running out of bone blocks, so I've only got 11 from the bone meal that I've generated. So, looking at the distribution of block types, we need to take out this here. And I think we might be able to get away with popping in something like the smooth quartz in there. And that looks like a good sort of random sort of distribution of blocks. Now these obviously need to go. I might put one of those in there. Mushroom stem, and maybe one at the top as well, because I can get those quite easily. Need to fill her up a little bit, I think. And of course I've got an inventory full of rubbish. Right, let's pop something in there. I think I said I was going to do another one of those. And I'll go inside and I'll remove these and pop in the normal bone blocks and see how they look. Let's pick up the bits that we've lost there. There we go. And let's come around this side. I'm not very keen on this bridge, so that's going to have to change. Now we've got a few of these we need to get rid of here, so I'll make these bone blocks. One there, and then one at the top. Now, that's going to be a little bit more interesting because I'm going to end up with a circular pattern if I don't do that. Okay, we've got a block stuck up there. Right, anyway, so there we go. We've got a little bit of variety creeping into our wall there. I thought I did some... Oh, of course, the mushroom block's going to be behind this one over here, aren't they? Between that and that. So there we go. We're starting to get that done. Now, a little bit of a strange interior here. I wanted something that wasn't rectangular at all in any way, so I've gone for this rather odd shape, a little corridor, a very short corridor coming to this room here. There's only a couple of real views out of windows, so one there and one there, so I can see Hawkon's house from here. And yeah, that's my spruce tree farm at the moment. That's where I get my mushroom stems from as well. Yeah, a little tiny bit of decoration going in, a little bit early for that really, but that's where I am at the moment. Still got all of these temporary blocks in, and the next thing to do is put on a roof. So we'll have to see how that goes. Now I want to do a little bit of work on the roof of my base here, so I'm going to go up and I'm going to start planning out how it might fit together. So I'm going to start down this end. I'm going to block it out with some dirt blocks. So let me have a look and see where we are. So what I want is actually, is it even symmetrical? Let's have a quick look. Okay, yeah, I've got one block in the centre, that's what I wanted. And let's see, so I want my roof to hang down probably from the sides here, then come up there. And then I want it to go, it's a bit, do I want it to go up like that? Probably one more here. Then come up to, oh, can't put it up again if I don't do that. Let's come up there. How are we doing? Then two more. And then two in the centre. Something like that. So it's going to gradually sort of come up at a funny angle. Can't see that at all from this side, but never mind. Let's have a look, see if we can replicate that, roughly speaking, from this side. So it starts off there, comes up there, comes up there, and we've got two, and then two, and then, is that two? That's not two, is it? I made a mistake. I've made a mistake there, haven't I? Which means I'm going to have to try and put a block up there somehow. Let's do that. And then take that down. Not sure what that's going to look like at all. Yeah, that's an interesting shape roof. And I don't know whether I'll project it out a little bit more from there. Probably. It's certainly not going to be dirt, so I'll change that over to some deep slate and then I'm going to put the roofing material underneath. I do apologise, I've got a bone meal farm running here in the background. Okay, now we're going to have a go at filling in some of these spaces with the blocks that I want to use. So I've got that there, let's have a bit of variety, we'll have that. And then we've got a solid block there, I think. So let's go back to that. And then we've got more solid blocks here, so let's get rid of those. Now I've got some normal deep slate here, so I'll pop one of those in. And I'll pop one of those on there. And it's just a matter of mixing some of these up. Now I did want some cracked stone bricks and I haven't done that yet, so I'll have to come back and do that at a later date. So a little bit of reorganisation required there. Anyway, that's what I want to do there. Now how am I going to get round to the other side? I guess I'll have to make myself a little bridge, won't I? There we go, and then dismantle it quickly. I may want to get back at some point. So anyway, let's do the other side. So back to these again. So much stuff to play around with in the inventory when you're doing mixed materials. So that's going to come there. What have we got on the other side? Well, let's have one of those, like that. Then we've got a standard block in there. Then we want something in there. Oh, we need the other blocks now, don't we? There we go. Let's have a bit of normal deep slate. Maybe this time in there. A bit of cobbled. And one more up there. We'll have. Have I got any blocks left? No. Right, okay. Let's just do that. Right, let's have a quick look and see how that looks. Oh, shame I didn't take that off. Okay, but not too bad. Not too bad. I'll do the rest of the board and then we'll see how it goes. Right, there we are. We have a roof line at both sides of the rear building, so I'm going to sort of put a ridge along the top there and see how it looks. But that's roughly how it's all coming. I was wondering Trader up doing some roof work for me as well. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. So it's not too bad, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how I manage to get all of these little tiny sections merging in with the main roof there. I'm quite looking forward to doing that. I've got one here, one on the other side there as the entrance, and then we've got a whole new section on that side as well. It's already proving to be quite interesting around these joints here, so I'm going to do a bit of work and see what I can do, bring all of the roof parts together. So I shall be back in a short while and show you what I've done. Oh, before we go. Yes, got some cracked stone bricks in there as well now, as well as in this side as well. Now I'm ready to put the next part on the build here, next part of the roof, and I've deliberately made life a little bit difficult for myself because I like to go with the terrain, and we've got a change in elevation here, which means that this side roof is actually going to be taller than the main roof, which it shouldn't do really, which is going to make life very interesting. And we're going to troubleshoot that as we go along and see how we go. So what I'm planning to do is we get these bits done here, so these come in through like that, and we do the same on this side. I think we'll just have both like, have I got any other ones of those? No, I haven't at the moment. Let's just have two normal ones like that. Then we can start looking at these. Oh, I haven't got any of the other blocks I need, so let's quickly grab some of these. Let's have 3 of those, and we need a whole load of those. And what we'll do is we'll start building up this part here. Now I do intend to solve the problem of the heights here, and let's have a look. So we've got that, we'll have that there, right, so it's a slightly different shape as well, which is deliberate of course, wouldn't have it any other way. And what we'll do is do that, and then we'll go around the other side and we'll do those. So there's a few more of, no not those, a few more of those. And so I wanted a few more of the bricks on this side, so we'll put something different there, a couple of bricks there, let's have the cracked there. Right, now the problem this is going to have is we're going to have to try and resolve the heights. So what I intend to do is I intend to start at this end where the problem is and actually fix it by putting the slabs across the correct height, and then we will ramp up towards the end so that we get a little bit of a height difference going into this last section here. And that should solve the problem. So let's take out all of these, and I'll grab myself some tiles, go up the top, and we shall carry on. Right, here we go on the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to pillar across here, something like this. I don't know, we've got one of those in there. And then come back to these. Right, now it's about this sort of time, actually. It's not too much of a problem. I thought this was going to be higher. Okay, well let's have a look. It's actually exactly the right height. Oh right, okay, so that's probably because I've got an extra layer of those in there. And it's slightly, is it slightly narrower? Might be, I think we've just got one of these less. So it's not actually a problem at all. Well, that's disappointing. Well anyway, what I would have done is I would have put in, so say we're going to finish it there, I just would have put in an extra layer there and then one of those on the end, so that it gives us something similar to that, but it goes up a little bit higher. So, well, that's an easy solution to the problem, isn't it? Right, but as we don't need to do that, might as well take those off. Let's chuck one of those in. Oh, we've got one of those there. Back to the thing there. Right, there we go. So, and then once we've done that, then all I've got to do is reconcile this unusual finishing point with that one over there, because they're going to meet up, do something strange round about that joint there. So more fun and games to come. But I think I'll start putting in the roof first. Okay, as you can see, we have most of the roof all in place now, and we're ready to put the roof tiles in. So that's the next job. Oh, I fell in the water. Oh, no. There we go. After a little bit of work, we have a basic roof shape put in. Basically, you just follow this edge pattern here and project it along, and where it meets this edge pattern that's projected along, that's basically it. And as you can see, this lower ridge tile here meets the centre of the roof. That's fine, and it blends in rather nicely. So just got to do the rest of it now. Right, as you can see here, I have put in the basic outline of all the roofs, top, bottom and sides, on all the roofs. And this is where we're having our problem here, because this roof comes over to here and it's supposed to intersect with this part here, but obviously this is a lot wider than this projects out here, obviously because that face is further back. So the only thing we can really do here is to move this wall forward, and I'll do that. But what we do to get this started is, if I just do that, move those around, and actually let's get a few more of these to play with. What we do is set it up so that we know roughly where it's going to come to by, can I get that on there? There we go. So it's going to come out to about here. I'll move these and put these on this face here in a minute. So what we're doing is we're just laying out where that should go to. Now we know where that's going to interface. So that's going to come over to here like that. And then we can start bringing all of these along and it will intersect with these faces here. So now we know that moving that over to here is going to solve our problem. And roofs, it's just, yeah, putting it together, seeing what works and figuring it out. It's looks a bit daunting to start with, but it usually works out for the best. And there we go. You can see where that troublesome edge was, as it's this line here has been moved from where this gap was. And now that lines up with going across there, and they're all going to line up and they're all going to intersect like the rest. Just need to put the ridge tiles on and connect it up, take that top one off of there. And then it's just a case of filling in all the gaps by projecting those all along and waiting for them to intersect. There, not so difficult. Right, there we are. The roof is complete and put on now. I've filled in some of the gaps with the white wool, which is my temporary material, while I'm getting some more bone blocks and things. And what I've done is, where we had the very edge of the wall coming down quite low here, it meant that the wood beams were showing through the wall, through the roof. So what I've done is I've raised it up and made a little bit of a design feature of it, that it comes back up and it goes around these posts here like that. So that's that done, and all there is left to do is to detail the walls and then do some landscaping around here as well. That brings us to the end of today's longer building episode. Well done if you've made it right through to the end. I usually do modern and futuristic builds, so today it was an interesting experiment to try and make something a bit more traditional. In the weeks ahead, I'm hoping to add a bit more to the roof and landscape, and maybe even add a tower, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you all for watching today. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please leave a like and a comment and consider subscribing if you want to see more. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode, so have fun and see you later. Now you'll have to excuse the noisy background, but I have just discovered an AFK buffalo, so I think we need to give him a present or two. Oh, is it missing him? Oh no! Hang on a minute. Ah, what? Oh, right, that's as high as I can go. Right, well, let's dump all this lot in his inventory, and you'll never be able to figure out where it's come from. Oh, his inventory's full. Oh no, he's picked it all up. There we go. There we go, Joe. Enjoy your netherrack. Well, after dumping some bits and pieces in Joe's inventory, I decided he'd look much nicer with a pumpkin hat on. So I went and got a dispenser and I popped it on his head for him. And I think it looks very nice with his headphones on, yes, and his flashy suit. And it's lucky it was me that found Joe, not Lockley, because otherwise it would have had Curse of Binding on there, wouldn't it? Hello, Joe.